Hello everybody and bright blessings. Lady Leeanna here once again with another edition of Wicca for today. And earlier on a show I covered what goes on a witch's altar, and that was titled Lady Leeanna's Private Pagan Altar Room. Okay, and this time I thought I should cover and add to that what goes inside of a witch's trunk, or what do witches have in their trunks. And I have a trunk here for you, as you saw in the pictures before the show started. The pictures, by the way, was of my very own personal private set of trunks. Anyway, so I'm going to go into my trunk, pulling out the items one by one and explaining to you why I have them, what I use them for, what they are. And you may recognize some of them as being on my altar whenever I did my other video if you've seen it. But for those who haven't, I'm going to go into it. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy it. So, let's get started now, opening the trunk, making sure that the lid isn't actually in front of the video here. Alright. Very, very interesting stuff to me. Now, remember, not all witches are going to use the same stuff, the same items. You know, everybody is different. Everybody practices different. You know, but you will find a majority of these are very basic on most witches' altars, you know, and then you'll find a bunch of new stuff thrown in. Okay, I'm going to open the small trunk here first, the little pale colored one you saw at the beginning of the video. In the little trunk, I like to store my herbs, because if I put them in the large trunk, they're going to get all squished up, and other little items that I like to protect, or things that go with the herbs. Anyway, okay, so, you know, and I'm going to cover some of the herbs that I've got, but I'm going to make my next video based around herbs and their uses, what type of herbs do what, you know, to some degree. You know, I can't cover all of them. There's a world of herbs out there. But in the little trunk, I have snakeskin. And a lot of people are probably going to go, ooh, that's evil. No, it's not. It represents change, and it represents wisdom. I use them in my spell work for changes for people. And no snakes were harmed. And the collecting of this skin, I like to gather it from my yard. And, you know, Lord only knows I have enough snakes in my yard to collect them from, but they leave them as gifts for me. For me, I should say. Alright, snake skin, desert sage. I like to keep a couple of different choices of sage, you know, for my use. Desert sage is a nice one, and it's very stout. High John the Conqueror root. Okay. Witch hazel for those spells for other people where I cannot put myself in because it's a spell work for the other person. I like to put in a representation of myself, which would be bloodroot or witch hazel. Those are my two choices because I use those in almost everything, and they're not my power herbs, you know. They are herbs I use to represent me within the rituals that I do for other people. Patchouli. No witch should be without it. No pagan should be without it. Okay. Mojo wish beans. Mojo wish beans. That's for bringing luck, by the way. And I'll cover these again whenever I do the one on herbs. A sage smudge wand. Let me open this so that you can get a good look at it. I know that most of you have seen these. If you're new, you may not have. But sage smudge one, you light the end of it and you carry it around your palace and you smoke the hell out of it so that you can get rid of spirits. You sage the air, and then afterwards you consecrate with holy water around the house. Okay, various little sachets made of silk of different colors, at which I wrap my tools in, or things that I don't want to have lose energy. And trust me, everything loses energy pretty quick if you don't wrap it. So mind yourself, remember to wrap your tools and items that you want to store energy in, especially your amulets or charms. Okay, seashells. Seashells are a representation of the womb of the goddess herself. And I use these as libation dishes. I use them as charcoal incense burner or cone incense burners. I put sea salt in them when I'm getting ready to bless it to make it into holy water, or other herbs I put in them whenever I'm getting ready to do a ritual, and I don't want a bunch of bulky Ziplocs on my altar. It would throw me off and not look quite so right. A pouch that holds all my talismans and amulets, because again I do not want them to lose their energy. And so my husband's and my items will go in these pouches to help store that. And it's my pendulums, different ones. Here's a wooden one. The other one is a tiger's eye pendulum. You know. But no, I'm not trying to show these perfectly in this video. I'm more or less showing you the things that are inside my tool chest as briefly as I can without taking too much of your time. Black salt. Black salt is a blessing agent, a purifier, as well as a protector. Okay, black salt. This one is called Hawaiian Love Sea Salt. Oh, I'm sorry, Lava Sea Salt. And the reason why this is particular about its name is sea salts are made in many different ways. Some people put charcoal in them. Some put different herbs inside of them. And some even put food coloring, which I do not ascribe to. You know, it's not good for everything you would use it on. Saltpeter. Okay. It's a cleanser and a purifier. Also, some witches in dark circles will use it to keep their husbands down. You know, I like to keep it as a purifying agent. It's like salt or alum, really. And hence the name saltpeter. Fenugreek seed. It's basically for your health and vitality. Generally more of a medicine than a spell cast agent. Jasmine. For new beginnings and fresh starts. Let's see. Also in health, it would be used in teas a lot. But it's for new beginnings and fresh starts. Flaxseed. Flaxseed is another health agent. I use it basically for curing or healing those who are ill. Rose hips for drawing love. Also for prosperity and for peace. Mandrake root. Mandrake root is one of the darker herbs, and you should never handle it without gloves if it's in its most potent form. It's very highly poisonous, not just toxic. In my spell works, I use it for change. Also, you can use it for various empowerment magic. Feverfew. It's for what it sounds like. It takes down fever, and it helps as a healing agent. Okay. Then you have Leeanna. It's kind of an astraling agent, a meditational herb. Usually you would use it in small amounts in your teas along with other herbs. Five-finger grass. Five-finger grass is for luck, to bring new beginnings, and for health and vitality. Have more snakeskin here as well. Horny goatweed. It's a healing herb, or actually a health herb, mainly for men, to help them with their libido. Let's see. And I think that's all I'm going to cover on herbs at this time, because really I'm not here just for showing herbs. I do have buckeyes, I have poke root, more high john root, lavender for peace and tranquility, mugwort I use with Leeanna as that astraling and meditational agent, sage for cleansing and purifying the loose leaf herb, as well as the one that I showed you earlier. Let's see, astragalus root, and let's see, that is all I'm going to cover on herbs right now. Although I do have more, there's just not enough time in a day. Okay, and incenses, right now on hand, I usually have a lot more, but I've been going through a lot. I have the cone incenses that I would use if I'm in a hurry. And these are blank, so I can anoint them with my anointing oils that I have and rescent them to whatever need I have. I also keep various different resins. This is dragon's blood resin. And generally it's for sexual love, power and potency, as well as protection. And I use dragon's blood a lot alongside of patchouli, and most witches do. A lot of us simply because we like it. You know, arrowroot powder and hibiscus flower. Let's see. Alright, well, you can't have your herbs without a mortar and pestle set. And this is my new set that I just got recently. And it's made out of marble, and it's really pretty. I'm just very proud of it, to tell you the truth. Very proud indeed. You know. Various strings. Mine are all yarn. You know. I like yarn because it's very cheap. It comes in massive quantities. You know. And colors. A lot of colors. You know, and you've got to have different colors for each need. I use them particularly in talisman, and whenever I prepare candles, I use them to mark coloring into the work, as I like to incorporate a lot of color magic and herb magic into my works. A feather for moving energy, proclaiming freedom, for releasing things. Okay. Various semi-precious gemstones in massive quantities. Little is preferred because you don't want a lot of weight in the talismans that you create. And I use these stones as batteries in my protections and in my talismans that I do for people, and in complete spell works. Large rugs and smooth stones. These house energy also whenever I want them to, or they represent people. I may bless them and give them to children so that they can take home and put them under their beds or under their pillows as kind of a protection talisman to watch over them and keep away bad dreams. And there are a lot of poor troubled children out there, you know, that are having these nightmares and stuff. I mean, look at the world around us, okay? So it's understandable. Okay, clear quartz pointer, little, you know, I use it for directing energy, you know. I also use them in creating amulets to wear around the neck, or for healing and drawing out bad energy out of people. Make sure you always cleanse your crystals, people. It's very important. You don't want to transfer bad energy from one to another, okay? So always cleanse your crystals, and we'll do a video on that as well soon. Let's see. In this sachet, I have various stones and hematite for doing cleansings on people, to draw out bad and negative energy out of people so that they can feel better, so that they can get rid of bad spirits that are within them, so that they can have a solid foundation under them again and get rid of all that they don't need. Okay, for making my talismans, I keep little cutouts of cardboard, you know, because I need something stiff to hold that talisman as a tight square so that it ain't all nasty and everything like that. It's hard for me to explain it to you like this. I need to do a video on making talismans also, you know, and that should be very interesting. But I keep cardboard cutouts just for that reason. They help to support the stuff within the talisman. Little aluminum fold-outs, just little pieces of aluminum that I folded to make a mirror. Mirrors, buying mirrors at the store can become very costly, especially when you do what I do to help other people, and there are so many other people that need the help. So there are ways you can improvise. I mean, an aluminum sheet can do what a mirror does. It deflects bad energy, it can become a portal, it can draw in energy, and yada yada. Generally, it would be used to deflect energy. But if you open a portal in it, you can draw energy into it, or rather send energy through it. Maybe I should say that instead. But always keep these, because I do very specific work for people that have those needs. Alright, now I've covered everything in the little box, and you should be pretty surprised because you saw the little box, right? You would be surprised that there's a lot of room left inside of it because of the curved top and everything. But, you know, that was a lot of stuff for that. Alright, now we've made our way to the larger box. And I'll start by saying other little miniature boxes that I use to hold things. In this particular case, I've got an extra set of tarot cards in it. But I love these boxes because they hold crystals and gemstones, your jewelry for practicing in magic, and all kinds of other beautiful things. And the only metal in it is that which rests on the top. And there's nothing wrong with housing some energy in that because it will protect all the contents inside of it. Alright, let's see. Various colored candles. Usually I like the taper candles But you never know what the situation is going to call for, so I like to keep both. Here we have various votive candles. And as far as taper candles, those are all out being used on other works that I'm currently doing for other clients. So get these votives out of here. Alright, we also have jar containers for whenever I do ritual practice outside. And I use the votives down in them because the wind won't blow them out. And so I use jar holders that are pretty deep for whatever's going in them. Now, I have various pillar candles, this one being black. It's what's currently been used as my power candle on all my spell works that I'm currently doing. No witch can be without her oils. Now actually, I have a case that I showed you on another video with a lot of my oils inside of them. And I have a hell of a good collection of oils. You know, a witch should never be without her oils. I have all my oils in the other thing, but here's a couple that I had to show you. Other various gemstones, these being the jade that I use in spell works for people. The largest rocks, and these would be like yard planting rocks. Like if you're wanting to create a shield around your house, you know, and you want to tie the rocks in together through light, bringing it down and having it create a dome over the house, you can use these larger rocks. I prefer smoky quartz and clear quartz for that, but it all works. Let's see. Various candle holders. This is a flat plate thing. I have different ones, different kinds for different reasons. I like to always be prepared, you know. And any witch should be prepared whenever you're getting ready to go into a circle, or whenever you're getting ready to cast up a ritual. Let's see. Various wrapped tools. For my altar. And if you want to see all my tools, then you should go to my video based around Lady Leeanna's private pagan altar room, and it will display on there all my tools, like this one, which is my pentagram plaque for my altar. But by no means is it my only tool. I'm just not going to show all of them to you today. Let's see. I also have a little tiger's eye crystal that I have that goes in the very center of that whenever I get ready to do rituals. Like I said in my other video, I like it to be able to hold energy, and the wood will to some degree, but not like I like to. My altar bowl. A nice altar bowl. It's actually my libation dish, and everything that I take from the higher power, I give something back. And I usually take a libation into the circle with me, whether it's my coffee, a wine cooler, or wine, or grape Kool-Aid. I mean, you know, as long as you're taking from it and you're also giving back during your ritual. At the end, you take it outside and you give it to the earth, which is the only way that God and Goddess can take it back from you unless they evaporate it and you don't want it sitting around forever. So you take it and you give it to the earth. My altar bell. This is for calling my ritual to order, for summoning and calling to things. And it's tied with a black ribbon because it adds power to it for me. That's how I feel about it. Now then we have the chalice. Like I said, I'm not going to show you all of these things. Oh, what the hell. I'm proud of it. Goodness. Here's my chalice. And it has the maiden, the mother, and the crone aspects all around it. Green stones implanted around its stem and around the cup as well. And it has a slide out container that can be washed very easily and put back in. That's my chalice. Let's see, what else do we have in this trunk? A mini cauldron. I burn charcoal incense in this, or I'll burn a votive in it, but it's good and it's handy for everything. I also sometimes use it as a burn pan, but I have a really big cauldron, like 50 times that size that I use that for. My wand for drawing down energy and directing energy. My wand made out of ebony wood. Okay. We have my rattle, which is for calling energy now. Now the bell is for calling spirits or entities or people to order when it's a major ritual. And I have other people handy. But this is for calling energy, like if I'm doing a cleansing, you know, with the stones that I told you about earlier. This is for calling energy out of a person that's laying there, or calling in dark energy out of a tool if I feel that it's been tainted. But it's for calling energy. It also is used around in tribal settings to, you know, to dance to and to bring energy, to stir energy, to make things happen. Especially whenever you're talking about doing a healing ritual and sending the energy over to one of your fellow practitioners. No witch should be without her scissors. And it's got a green bow around it. That's because it helps to mark it as my power source pertaining to the earth. Although it's a fire tool, by the way, much like your athame. Okay? The athame. And the scissors are both fire elements. That's why they're both wrapped in a red silk sachet that I make myself. And I'll show you those on another video. But the green bow on it, for one thing, it helps to separate it out from other pairs of scissors I might have around that look like it. But it kind of ties the earth and the fire together for me. And to me, that's very powerful. Let's see. Silver handled knife for cutting things, for making things. It is a utility knife, but this is as powerful as most people's athame is. Okay? Let's see. More candle holders. These are in the form of oak leaves and they're cast iron. They're not antique, but they've been here a while and they hold a lot of energy for me. And they help direct it into my spell works. Now I use a candle, a taper candle, usually black, but sometimes white depending on what the spell work is that I'm doing. I use a candle, and I use a seal which stamps my work whenever I do a work for somebody, so that nobody can copy it. Now this particular seal is the Tree of Life, and I don't know that you could see it, but it's the Tree of Life. And I seal that at the end of all of my work onto whatever I'm doing, so that it represents me. Also, it protects that work, prevents anything from tarnishing it or degrading it. So that is what that's for. Various potion bottles. This one I got from some ginger, I believe. No, it was a honey bottle. But very nice bottle for texture. A very nice bottle for potions and so forth. A standard tray incense burner. It can do the cones in the center, and it can do the sticks around the perimeter of it. It has holes for all of the sticks to go around it, and many of them. I a lot of times use it as a tray for laying herbs on it and stuff like that. A lighter, a torchlight, replaces the candles today, replaces all the matches, and it reaches all the way across my altar. It does really nice. So, a torchlight. You know, people, I mean, yes, this might not seem like the old ways for you, but we are witches of the new day in all reality, and there are a lot of things that can make our work or our rituals a lot easier, and we should seize the day with those. Okay? Let's see. Another loose leaf or cone burner. Sometimes just a tray to lay my sage smudge wand in whenever I get through with it after cleansing around my altar before I actually begin doing the work. Another rattle and more stones. Now, I use little agouti stones, geodes, crystals on my altar for drawing in, harnessing energy, for astraling into as a doorway, for deflecting bad or negative energies. And so these are always good to have. This one is a pretty tranquil blue, grayish color, but I've always felt very kindred with it, and I really enjoy having that here. Well, everybody, this has been Lady Leeanna signing off. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you got out of it what you needed. This has been inside of a witch's toolbox, and I believe I've really covered my area with this. And if you have any further questions, please by all means ask in the page below. And likewise, you know, if you have anything that you would like to add, be sure and do that. I have no problem with that. Merry meet. And by the way, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Share the video to help keep the channel moving along and generating newcomers. I really like that. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.